Okay, are you sure you put? Are you sure this thing audio is like open on stream? Is the stream completely muted, or is the stream still, or is the game still playing?
I think it's muted.
It's muted or something like.
Yeah. Do you use OBS? Okay. Are you sure you put?
Wait, what?
Do you use? Are you
OBS?
sure this thing audio is like open on stream? Is the stream completely muted, or is the stream still, or is the game still playing?
I think it's muted.
It's muted or something like.
Yeah. Do you use OBS? Okay. Are you sure you put?
Wait, what? You can listen to the music.
Okay. Are you sure this thing audio is like open on stream? So moving on, we do see the stream, we do see the game still playing. Xosum Gaming.
I think it's
Leona
muted.
first into Lucian and Thresh. Do you use OBS? Devilz playing on immediately locking on the bot lane for this match and the subsequent two picks. Are you sure this thing audio is like open on stream? So moving on, we do see
Leona
Xosum Gaming.
I think it's
Leona
muted.
first because I'm Lucian invites actually. So I would like to immediately locking on the bot lane for this match and the subsequent two picks. Are you sure this thing audio is like open on stream? So moving on, we do see instant last pick coming on from Devil's Playground, going Euro Devils, locking down the Talon mid. And we do see a Pantheon jungle and a Vladimir top. So this is rather dicey. You see a Ari versus Talon matchup in the middle.
I think it's muted again.
Instant last pick coming on from Devil's Playground, going Euro Devils, locking down the Talon mid. And we do see a Pantheon jungle and a Vladimir top. So
Locking?
this is rather dicey. You see a Ari versus Talon matchup in the middle.
I think it's muted again.
Instant last pick coming on from Devil's Playground, going Euro Devils, locking down the Talon mid. And we do see a Pantheon jungle and a Vladimir top.
Poke him now.
So
Locking?
this is rather dicey. You see a Ari versus Talon matchup in the middle.
I think it's muted again.
Instant last pick coming on from Devil's Playground, going Euro Devils, locking down the Talon mid. And we do see a Pantheon jungle and a Vladimir top.
Poke him now.
So we have the eSports for both games. Xosum Gaming opting for the Tryndamere top lane. Tryndamere in the top lane. Zinza last. A Talon in the mid lane and Lucian and Thresh in the bot lane. So, level 1. Now that we just got into all this, level 1. How will the two teams go? What do you think they should be going for?
I think the team with the Thresh, they should look to invade. They have the stronger level 1. What is most surprising to me though is the absence of teleports on both the top laners.
Right. Yeah. I just saw that and I'm like, okay, it's a Tryndamere into a Vladimir, but no teleport. So that means that they kind of leaving top lane to an island, it seems like.
But even then,
probably they just trust the top laner to just hold his own instead of trying to teleport and make plays around the map.
Teleport is like a standard top lane spell right now. They must have had their own reasons. Maybe they're looking to dominate the lanes through having an
Yeah,
extra summoner spell. But
probably.
teleport for me is just too valuable to not to take it. So I don't know. And
I'm
as
more
far as
surprised
level,
at the fact
yeah,
that he insta-locked Talon into the Ahri. So usually the thing is that picking a Talon into an Ahri comes down to how well you react to what the Ahri can do. Because I've faced a lot of Talons as Ahri myself playing mid lane, and one thing they always end up doing is if they have quick enough reaction times, they'll end up going right behind you as you cast your spell.
User was moved out of your channel.
So they kind of negate your trade instantly. So I think Euro Devils right now is like just that confident to just go into the Ahri and fight her whenever needed, with the confidence that she can dodge the Ahri's return retaliation.
exactly. And another
And
interesting thing
response
to
to
note
his
is
trade.
that the Varus is going to ignite instead of heal. There's lots of kill potential
Yeah.
involved, especially during level 3 and level 5. So let's see how it
Ridiculously
goes.
confident much? I don't know.
Yep,
I don't
think
know
so.
what their plan is, but they show spell aggression in the early game. So would you want Lucian and Thresh to kind of kick it back and play it a little safer in the early game to kind of reach one proper stable point, or would you just rather they go
User
all
joined
in?
your
If I
channel.
might say so, Varun, in this patch, level 2 is everything. I would not want anyone to play passive. And,
Right.
for the people, the lane which does hit level 2 first is going to get a huge advantage. It depends on how they play it out, actually. If you do nothing with getting level 2 first, then actually it's quite a waste. So let's see. If I was Lucian Thresh, I would be looking to push the lane hard from level 1 only, because Leona is melee and Thresh is ranged.
Right.
So that would help me a lot. But let's see how they play it out.
So the 3-minute wait is over, and we are going to be going into the loading screen and into the game very soon. Again, this is the first match of the ILG LCL, and we hope you have a good time watching it, as well as we have fun casting it. So there we go.
Skins coming out as well. Valkyrie Leona, Dynasty Ari, Arctic Tops Varus, the blue side, along with Thresh, Championship Thresh, Full Metal Pantheon, and Dragon Blade Talon. Seems like they're tied on the skin part. 3 apiece.
Off late, I'm finding it very hard to believe that Championship Thresh is actually a legacy skin that will only be released on select times and probably never at all, because I've seen more Championship Thresh than Deep Terra Thresh. So I think it's
was
like probably the
one of
most.
the most bought skins ever.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like, anyway, well, now that it actually happened and all that. So as discussed, you believe that Devil's Playground will go for a better level 1 and probably go for invading, while it's better for Xosum Gaming to play it safe, you say?
Yeah, if I was the blue side, I would be like, I would spread out first, because they don't have a lot of CC at level 1, and Ari should not be starting Charm.
Yes,
So
yes,
if I was
very fatal for
blue
us.
side, I would use my trinkets, spread out, ward up, and then ensure that they don't get a buff off us.
Right, right. And we are into the game, and we will see the 5 champions in each side warping in, and immediately a pause. So I guess people have some sort of connection issues.
Yep.
Or wait 2 minutes. Strats much?
Really quick buys coming out of the Thresh. You can see an early red trinket. That is something which is not commonly seen nowadays.
Yes, indeed. I'm actually surprised, but I'm actually surprised at that, because normally Thresh would just go for severe vision. I mean, ordinarily, if a team recognizes the aggression of a Lucian Thresh from level 1 and when the laning phase starts, I'd imagine that they'd rather go for wards to kind of secure their laning phase. But then again, they could also try and have their own jungler shadow their bot lane around.
No, but one
So,
thing you should
I don't know, it's
note
kind of
that,
interesting to see what plan these people have.
Like, he's starting Targon's Brace. I'm sorry, he's starting Relic Shield. So
Yes.
you start Relic Shield, basically you start Relic Shields, and then you get 2 health pots and 1 mana pot. Generally, that's the start, and which leaves no space for wards. So that in itself, makes the bot lane really unsafe. It depends on which buff the Zin
A
starts.
summoner has reconnected.
Right.
If Zin were to start blue, then it would be a free gank bot, because they would have no wards whatsoever apart from the Trinket Ward of Lucians. Let's see how they play it out, actually.
Right, we are yet to see the remaining buys anyway. All we've seen is the Thresh and the Lucian getting just the trinkets as well. Well, the Thresh did get a relic shield. And meanwhile, on the side of Xosum Gaming, we see the Varus going for the standard start, and pretty much standard starts all over, nothing particularly cheesy or corny. Though I am surprised at how the Pantheon jungle, I am quite surprised at the Pantheon pick. I don't see how it will kind of synergize with the rest. Sure, they probably have some amount of lockdown in terms of CC and whatnot, but how will it kind of work, given that it's past 421 and that you can't take early dragons? What should the Pantheon be looking to do?
If I was the Pantheon, I would be looking to gank, and I would be looking to babysit the Tryndamere really hard. Because Tryndamere does not have a lot of escapes, and also Tryndamere has one flash instead of the ghost, which will naturally see
true.
in the match. So there are a lot of options. He can gank top, but top again has less CC. So again, he has to pick out his options. They have a talent mid, which again will take time to get developed into a kill lane. But Ari is susceptible to ganks, so it depends on what he thinks is more important.
Yes. It's also heavily dependent on time as well, because pre-level 6 is the one time we want to kind of get as many ganks onto her as possible.
We should really keep an eye out on the Xin Zhao also, because Xin Zhao also has really strong early game ganks. And in any 2v2 fight, Xin Zhao generally tends to come ahead because of the insane damage he pushes up because of his talent 3 talent strike. So
quite so. So do you believe that probably both junglers will be looking to make top lane like their go-to lane and try to get both laners snowballing? Because on one side you have Pantheon wanting to shut down the Tryndamere, and on the other side you could probably have a Xin Zhao and a snowball the Tryndamere. So
they could also switch the focus off to mid. You never know, because both the assassins for both the sides and mid. So depends.
Right, and we do see the remaining buys coming in, and Tryndamere opting to start the longsword in 3 pots, kind of standard. I would imagine they'd go for. Actually no. Sorry, now that I think about it, this is against a Vladimir. There's no reason for him to go Doran's late start. Now it does it. Anyway, I can't really put my own opinions. I'm not playing the game.
Common mistakes which you see, everybody on the blue side has already locked in their abilities. That should not be the case. The Varus has already started blind stacks.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. They have no way to know that if anybody is standing inside a brush or not.
So we do see Devil's Playground going for the invade, recognizing that they have a slightly stronger level 1. And when will they go in? It's already been a minute. Normally teams would go in by now, but no, they're actually looking to kind of go in. We do see the Pantheon stun coming through. The Thresh hits the Leona. Will we see a first blood? Yes, we absolutely will. Going to the Thresh instead of the Lucian. And oh my god, it appears that Kodlivamshi has disconnected.
A summoner has disconnected.
Oh my god, he absolutely has. Is there a pause? Yes, please. Well, okay, that was a grave mistake on Xosum Gaming's part. They didn't even realize that they actually this thing.
They shouldn't have killed off.
Right, so there goes the level 1. A kill going to the Thresh and a kill going to the Pantheon. Although it wasn't particularly important that the Thresh needed to take that kill. But oh well, mistakes are mistakes. Mistakes were made, as people keep going on saying. And we do see only Lucian getting a single assist, as opposed to Vladimir and Talon getting assists for both kills that they had bagged.
Yeah, because he was a little bit far off in terms of when they killed the Leona. But now it's going to be difficult for Xin Zhao also. I don't see him getting his red buff now.
Yeah, indeed. They'll just kind of sit there, and Drago's escaping with his life. We didn't have to blow Summoner spells, thankfully. So I guess a few have been spared from the horrors of picking a skill too early, and a few haven't, as we've seen in the 2 deaths that have happened on the side of Xosum Gaming.
That was actually lazy play on their part, and now again.
Yeah, the disconnect was extremely careless on their part, but you can't help it. It's already happened, so you can't control anything. So hopefully they learn to look forward and look ahead in what's gonna happen, and that will be the red buff steal. And it's good decision making. That's Pentacle at 62 and Hashirn at 1. They actually immediately get to go into the enemy's red side of the jungle. So on the side of Devil's Playground to see this? No, they don't. So they actually do not realize that the enemy jungler has started and taken their red. So this will be rather interesting. Quite a few decisions to be
good
made.
Counter jungle. That's a good decision making on their part. Considering that he has left us fallen deep, it will take time to respawn also.
So as for the lanes, we did see Yolo Devils getting level 2 before Qualifiers in the mid lane, and did try to get like a single spell in, but mid lane will be kind of like a slaughter fest depending on how aggressive the two wish to go, because I don't think you want to play it passive as a Talon and as an Ahri as is, and even more so as a Talon. Because for an Ahri, you're against a melee mid, so you want to try and reduce that positioning as much as possible. And at top lane, we do see Romero getting level 1, level 2 before Hashid 1, so hopefully Vladimir kind of stands off of that.
Pentakill did not get level 2 getting the enemy's red buffs because he left the small ones. So as a result, he's going to be really slow in the jungle now for a while.
Yep.
He's already level 3 and is preparing for the gank as well.
Well, is he level 3 yet? Yes. No, almost. Well, he'll pretty much get level 3 and then go for the recall in order to get that Ranger's Trailblazer. Or whichever other spell he's going for. I'd assume he'll go for the Chilling Smite because a slow is very much useful on your part. And we do see a level 1 trade going in. Will the Chris land? Yes, it does, but it's not enough to kill him, apparently. And he does force a flash on Romero. Indeed. So that might be kind of a bit of a win for Hashid 1 in the top lane, and we do see a sneaky gank coming in from Death Moon 01 at that bot lane. So will Festus Hook connect?
Standing right there.
Yes, the minions definitely do seem a little unfavoring, and they shouldn't have actually got to pushing the lane so hard. They should have actually communicated that a little better. But well, he's here and he's kind of there, and we do see a bit of an all-in coming in, and Yolo Devils actually coming on the losing side, and an immediate engage by the Leona. And the Pantheon does not seem to be doing anything, finally goes in and decides to stun, and they miss the kill. How late?
Actually, it was the Leona who started the fight, but now we might see a counter gank coming in from Pentakiller.
Yes, indeed, and nice. I'm actually showing top lane, but Pentakiller will not choose to fight as they do not want to get 3-man, or will they? They're still going for this. Doesn't look like the bot is responding to it in time. Yeah. Well, that's really very quick. Yep, and Romero still staying in the top lane. I don't think Hashid 1 has actually been putting on as much pressure as he should be, because given the fact that he almost blew his flash out, and we do see another thing at level 1. Will this? No, it won't be. So Yolo is constantly picking trades, picking fights, trying to scare Qualifiers out of lane, because he does have 2 assists after all, so if he does end up getting a kill, it'll be huge, and will this will kill? No, it won't. He didn't bother to use his flash as well. I'm kind of shocked at that, because he did pull early. But I guess he just didn't see the opportunity. Mid lane, we do see a Chilling Smite go straight through, and the first blood will go to minute in a dive. 2 simultaneous kills happening back to back, and for the start for Xosum Gaming. Very well done. Very good rotations by Pentakiller to kind of circle around Yolo Devils back and forth, and giving him the sense of false security at the start. As well
so much so that Yolo Devils killed himself, to be honest. He had gotten out and he decided to walk back into the Ahri queue.
Exactly, he was constantly picking unfair trades. I guess he just overstayed his welcome in lane and didn't consider the possibility that Pentakiller could always come back after leaving the lane. So good sense.
The talent's flash is down as well.
So, indeed, and we did also see Trinimate use his own flash. So hopefully both junglers kind of see this and try and capitalize on this. This is the part where I start believing that junglers could probably focus on the top lane. And we do see the Pantheons trying to go for a gank in the mid lane, but no, Ahri is far from getting ganked and getting there. And we do see Fresh going right now. What is going to be the decision right now? And good focus on the Fresh so far. No, can they finish him off though? No, they can't. Can actually Dragus gets himself killed, and not quite so. And oh my god, this will be the kill. No, not at all. And actually, Dave Lamo can easily get it, but no, doesn't quite go for it. Flashes burnt on both sides, so a huge fight being seen in the first 7 minutes of the game, and YOLO Devils does manage to secure the kill with his rotation and roam down at the bot lane.
So this was just
So he is
a
not a
wrong
huge-
focus right now. At what? They
Indeed,
focused the
indeed,
tank
that
one.
was quite the wrong focus in the bot lane. Going for that Thresh did certainly end up working completely against Dragus and Snow Volvo X, and top lane again turning out to be quite the struggle. Can Romero fight this? He does have a bit more health. He did opt for going a giant spell first, so that could kind of enable him to go in and actually fight back, despite a kill on Hashid's one side. And we do see him going for the usual bot crush, and Ping's going on for the dragon from Devil's Playground, so we are not sure if they will be going for this. It does appear so, but good ward placement there, by the way. That ward, I'll have you know, if you're seeing the dragon side anytime soon, you will see that one ward placement that Devil's Playground did will be extremely valuable and hard to take out without pulling the dragon out.
The Varus went
So-
and sold his Doran blade just to get damage.
Yes, indeed. He did sacrifice a lot of tankiness just to get that BF sword, and we will see a fight on the dragon pit. Oh my
There was
god,
no
Phoenix
back.
goes in far too early and gets shredded to 4 people there, and this will pretty much be free dragon due to the absence of a smite on Xosum Gaming side. Well played, very well baited, very well played in itself, and I don't think anybody will want to go contest it. You won't want to run into 4 people and make things worse. So, pretty much opting to stay in the mid lane, tries to skirt around the outside, does not see a tick go in, and will this be it? Oh no, almost got Deathbone. Almost got Deathbone.
It turned out to be a
was-
really unfavorable trade, bro. They
Yeah.
lost the dragon, they lost Ari, and now they're down like around 2k gold approximately. So, the only thing they have going for themselves is the Trina there. who's going
And
to
oh
the
my
Black
god,
Pit
that is a
off, I
very
believe.
good ult on Romero's part. Can he last through this though? No, not quite, but it will still be a trade-off, will it? No, it won't. The ultimate
ult is
kicks
too
in. Right, the ultimate of Tryndamere kicks in and saves him from dying to the tower. Right, so a lot of action going on here, guys. The camera missed some, but also captured some. So it's not like you're missing everything, but it's still fine. So far, we're assessing the situation in terms of kills and assists. Thresh, Binky, Axel getting two kills and 3 assists on that Thresh. Completely managing to bait a few fights and recognizing their power spikes and actually recognizing when his lane will be ahead as opposed to the enemy lane. He has been kind of picking fair plays. This is evident from when he just baited the 2 enemies out and kind of got that kill on Dragus earlier, around 8 minutes. So he's been kind of playing the lane well, and Varus Leona kind of struggling, definitely, because they did have like 2 straight fights going back to them. And you do see, oh my god, what a quick hit by Percent, and that will be the kill on the Varus. Pretty good kill on the Leona as well. It would rather, and oh my god, that hit.
She walked back into the wall and got damage off it. Which allowed Lucian to
Yes,
come
she
in and
did.
get
So
a
now
easy
they're
pick up.
kind of confused, and I think bot lane now wanted more jungle attention than trying to snowball the Tryndamere, because honestly, Hashid is somehow managing his lane very well. So forget what I said about jungle going to the Stormbridge, and we do see Pentacular going to the bot lane.
Yeah, I
Will
think it
they
might
be
be
able to turn it around? Not quite sure, and the heal coming in will save the Axel, and YOLO Devils did go for it. Oh, it did end up working well. I thought the flash was too undershot, but it looked like it's
Right, one
range,
hit.
and oh my god, that was... Tryndamere is beasting the top lane right now. Alright guys, sorry guys, we haven't been quite able to follow all the action going around because we are seeing fights back to back to back, and it's not like as passive as we thought games would generally be. And we did see Hashid one cleverly turning the ganks around by instantly going for the Pantheon as soon as he popped in and completely recognizing Vladimir's slow process of dealing damage and evidently killing people.
The lane
So
is
right
all
now-
but over for Vladimir now. Because
Indeed,
Tryndamere has
indeed.
double buffs and Tryndamere is really strong right now. What he needs to do is keep sprint pushing, become a monster so that he attracts 2-3 people.
Exactly, attract.
That
He
his
has
team
to
can come
constantly attract Deathmoon's attention, as well as bot lane. But in the meantime, on the side of Pentakill, would you rather he goes to top lane to get Tryndamere rolling further, or do you think he still needs to help the bot lane?
Well, I think
Given
he should
how
be looking up to
far
it.
behind
If
they
he
are.
can't at least help out in bot lane, he can at least ward for them or for mid. Because of
Right. So in these situations, it's probably better to be a utility-based jungler and provide vision for your team and play accordingly, setting up catches wherever needed. I mean, right.
also
So we do
the
see a
blue
bit
side
of an
needs to ward up
invade.
a bit more, a lot more.
Yes, indeed. They're being overwhelmed in the riverside by the red team. We do see a pink ward in the brush. We do see a pink ward in that lone brush. Earlier, they did D4 their pink. Actually, that pink is not redundant now that I think about it, because they did re-ward the inside brush behind the Xosum's red buff. So that pink ward, while rather redundant, will still kind of see the roams, I guess, coming from Kodlevamshi, if at all he ever does, because he has been having a horrid time at the mid lane picking back dive, and Eurodance has been doing well. Gets all in, manages to escape, and still may not quite be able to. But I think he goes back in. They immediately force the engage, and what is this from Pentakill 62? They are coordinating with Rushes really well, and Eurodevils finally goes down 3.
What is the Lucian?
And oh my god.
The Lucian?
The Lucian goes in. Is he caught out? Yes, he is. He just completely gives up. So very reckless plays coming down by Lucian, and right now they're after Cross coming right in. Punches one, does pop his ultimate. Will he be able to get out? Yes, he absolutely will be able to get out. And back pings going all over the place, I think mostly from Devil's Playground's side, because they recognize how bad of a decision they've done, because after the Talon's death, it was evident that you'd lose any coming fight, and seriously, Diblano's recklessness as an AD carry was completely unnecessary. And there goes the final all-in to kill Vicky Axel, and honestly, they've just been assessing the situations wrong. Possibly a bit of overconfidence, would you say? And YOLO Devils did all too early, not quite managing to get into range.
The whole chain of events was set off in motion by the Lucian flashing and wasting his only skip.
Indeed.
That was pretty bad. The Tryndamere now, I think, is unkillable if he decides to split push, because he does get the static shift and he has wards also.
He can single-handedly dictate terms right now, Tryndamere, given how well ahead he is. And if he does opt to split push, and if his team decides to play it accordingly and possibly secure dragons and pretty much set up clever catches, because Tryndamere is attracting other laners, and if they manage to play it accordingly and safe, they could very well seal the deal, because while Devil's Playground have had a fantastic early game, okay, never mind, forget what I'm saying, because they are trying to secure the second dragon. So Devil's Playground could very well compensate for that, extremely fed Tryndamere through dragons and the dragons. And we do see it all in happening, and the target wins. Wizard goes straight for that. And the steal. It has, yes, your eyes did not deceive you, ladies and gentlemen. That was a steal from the Varus right there. And what went wrong? Why did Deathmoon stay? Why they had that pink warded? Why did they have to run right into Pentakill at 62?
Being engaged from the side, and this is why you take teleporting fights. The Vladimir was not there, while the Tryndamere was. So
and right now he's actually making trips up and down from mid lane to top lane, and all Pentakill are doing is trying to get a dragon.
We might see the Vladimir go down again. 2 levels difference.
And oh my god, this is it.
Yes,
Will he be able to fight intelligently? No, he's actually giving up his life. It would appear that he's giving up his life.
He might use flash
in case of this, but
that's a bad flash. Not going to survive.
Will he? No, not really. He does have his ult, even if he does try and make a play. So that's the unkillable power of a Tryndamere, and well, okay. Well, he did make one bad
Oh my god, that's a engage comes out at once. Tremendous power of CC coming up. Leona Varus?
Okay, I'm speechless. Why did they even fight? Why did they even fight there? And they
No, they
recognized
got
their minions
engaged
and
upon.
this
They
thing.
had no idea they were sitting in a crush.
Oh, did they?
Leona
Okay, fine. I
initiated.
wasn't looking there because I was too busy. And that is such quick burst onto Tryndamere right now. It's just cruel what happened to him. He couldn't even ult out of it. There was no way he could have seen it coming, even if there was this thing.
Well, he did eat, to be honest, so that was his fight to take.
Right, indeed. So clever turnarounds, clever fights being picked up, and blue team are kind of clawing their way back after that kind of bad level 1 and the early game. So while it does look like they are coming back, it also has a lot to do with the decision making of Devil's Playground all this game, because really they've kind of had their game up to the point, even with the Tryndamere having snowballed that hard, but slowly and steadily, as we seen in that last dragon fight, there was no reason for Death Moon to just run right into Pentakiller. So I'm not quite sure what the plan is anymore for these two teams.
The thing is, Vladimir for some reason has rushed her allies against a Tryndamere. I don't really see the logic of that. I'm
Indeed,
concentrating
don't
on
they
getting a
usually go?
Seekers in front. Seekers?
Don't they usually go things like Seekers and the Will of the Ancients, as we've seen from a lot of these things?
Might see them
Starting on the next
Yeah, they should have gone that way. They were getting pummeled so hard that they decided to
Well,
focus on the
anyways.
fight aspect.
He has been shut down, however, 0-5 and 2, and right now we do see both teams scrambling up. I think they're trying to set up another fight, another catch, as they should, because Xosum finally have less snowballing Tryndamere in the top lane, so they are trying to see how best to spread Devil's Playground thin, so that they can
going
kind
really
of...
deep inside the jungle though. And despite
Indeed,
the
their bot lane
Varus-
is way too far, and they don't really go for it. They actually saw the Varus, they still don't go for it, and YOLO Devils
Meanwhile,
going for it. Not able to flash away. But he
They
will
should
still
have engaged.
sacrifice his life.
they should have engaged.
Anyway,
Well, they
if
saw
they
two
waited
people
a
top,
little
and I
while
think they
longer.
will engage now.
Indeed, so we do see going for the threat. Leona will spend her 2 stars. Did she ult? Where is she ult? Oh, okay, never mind. She already did a lightning dragon. I can see that. Sorry for that. Now that is a good piercing arrow from Varus to kind of kill the Thresh. So good, really good decisions being made by this thing. After Tryndamere did attract the attention of the Talon and the Vladimir in the top lane, that was all they needed to kind of go in. So they're recognizing the absence of Talon to be a vulnerability onto Devil's Playground, which is a really good sign, and shows that they show full intentions of trying to win the game through catches and completely capitalizing on the fact Tryndamere.
Tryndamere has become a complete monster by now. Easily
Indeed.
going
So
to
what
into
would you
2v1
do if you were in Devil's Playground's position? Obviously your top lane has been shut down. So what do you do with the remaining?
Well, I just tried to create picks on the other half of the map. Like, they are trying in a way, but they're getting collapsed upon. They're
So
getting
would
caught
you
out without wards. That's no...
would you sacrifice succumbing to the pressure of a split pushing Tryndamere to kind of fight as a fight in this scenario?
Yep.
Anyway, never mind. There is actually another thing that has started. These guys just went to a completely unwanted rush.
Oh my god, that's good. That's
really good. Trying so hard, and a good Varus gun completely somehow turns the fight around. Then we do see the eye going into the charm, as well as... Okay, alright. I know I said that completely wrongly because I completely lost track and kind of blanked out, so sorry for that. What actually happened was the Varus's chain of corruption actually managed to hit 3 to 4 people on the enemy team, and Kodali Vamshi's timing entry did actually end up working out very well, because he managed to charm, was it Romero or Deblano? I couldn't quite see that. He actually managed to get a full charm on
I
target.
think he got charmed on Vicky Axel, to be honest.
Right.
First time.
Okay. So anyway, any one of them, because of how well that one particular ultimate hit, they were able to follow up their rest and kind of turn it around. So this is actually kind of scary for Devil's Playground right now, because they actually managed to get a proper catch, but still couldn't finish the fight and actually end up fighting properly for that. And Yellow Devil just managed to flash out in time. He really managed to kill the Aaron. Penta-Killer 62 is too far in. Will they be able to finish this score? And Vans goes way too far in. He's right in the middle of them. And it ends up working so against them. And this fight will go into Devil's Playground's side.
That was
Desperation.
really bad decision making from Penta.
Desperation extraordinaire from Xosum Gaming right now. It was evident when the Varus went into Flash. They were just getting so desperate and in seeing the squishy picks. There was no reason for him to go in. He should have recognized the AoE potential of the Pantheon and the Vladimir in the place. But anyway, so we just see it's literally a slaughterfest right now, guys. 22 and 17 in a 23-minute game literally means a slaughterfest in any form of the game.
Quite a bloodbath, to be honest.
Right, and so, oh my god, the Trinidad DC, they better pause right now because they just lost their most ahead member.
A summoner has reconnected.
Hey, wake up. Hey, wake up.
Right, so with that pause, we did see him coming back, so the game might eventually be resumed. It is being resumed right now. Right, and what we have been seeing is actually a mix of a comedy of errors on both teams, as well as extremely good scenarios to pick fights. Like basically both teams are just trading blows at each other, trying to make use of the numbers, numbers advantage every step of the way. Whenever Devil's Playground were more in number, they ended up winning fights somehow, even though it has been with a few desperation calls. So they're both capitalizing on mistakes.
Optimally, to be honest.
Yes, indeed. That's seriously due to the lack of teleport, I believe. But yeah. And Penta-Killer does appear to be lagging, so the game does appear to be being paused a lot more. And this is another explosive start to the tourney, don't you think? For a first game, for the game to just span out like this, it just shows you how willing teams are to just compete and just do
Both
their
the
best.
teams
in the
are really
game.
pumped up, to be honest. And 39 kills in 23 minutes. It's just too much, and it's quite a close game.
Completely stupid, yeah.
Has disconnected.
It's just stupid. Both teams are just being stupidly aggressive, and they're just not like safe. Isn't even in their vocabulary right now because that's the magnitude at which they've been fighting right now. So, but who? Okay, so while Xosum Gaming has a trump card on the side of Tryndamere, what do Devil's Playground have? Like, what should they look to in terms of where should they focus their damages on?
They should be looking
In a team
to
fight.
set up picks right now. They have a Thresh. The Vladimir did get 2 kills in the last fight, so he's not like he's really doing damn bad. And they have a talent. So basically what they need to do is, eliminate Tryndamere right now because he's the primary source of damage. Somehow the Varus has managed to, get himself really fed despite of the extremely glass cannon build which he went.
Microphone
In terms
muted.
of IED.
Microphone activated.
So
Muted.
the damage primarily is just coming from Tryndamere and from the CC combination with the Leona. So it all depends on BK Axe's exhaust, to be honest. If he can exhaust well, and if they can get a good ignite on the Trynd. Once Tryndamere goes, as we saw in the last fight near the Dragon, they did end up losing the fight overall. So it was a 5-for-3 exchange. So they just need to get the Tryndamere down. What a Tryndamere needs to be doing, he should be splitting, he should be just splitting, and he should be getting 2 people top, killing 1 or 2 of them, and then dying off his own accord, so that his team can create pressure elsewhere.
Indeed. So we've been talking over and over again about this thing right now, and that's just when the game stalls out like this, there really isn't much else to talk about, especially in such a scenario like this where you have like two extremely fed people on the team on one end, and on the other end you have like gold being focused equally all over the place. So that is weird.
will
And
infinitely scale though, so they should be wary of that fact that not to delay it that much, because he will end up two-shotting anyone and everyone after a certain point.
yes, indeed. And Lucian is going. Lucian actually rushed a Yomu's Ghostblade. What about that?
It was his first item primarily. Yomu's Ghostblade is a really strong item in Lucian. It's not
Indeed, but to rush it first, I'd always thought they'd go at least an Infinity Edge first or a Bot
I don't
first.
know, he was doing really well in lane, so I think he bought a brutalizer for the extra early harass.
Indeed. So right now we do see Xosum Gaming sticking together, trying to go for the Baron, and they're actually picking for Baron. Was it? Yes, they are. They're
Tryndamere is
absolutely going to go
going
for the
to-
Baron, and will they see the pink one? Yes, they
Not
will.
gonna start.
And this will
Tryndamere is
immediately
going to get
attract
a really
attention.
huge pass fight once he goes back to 5. He has 1600 gold, he has I in the bank. I think he should
Yes, indeed.
get it as soon as possible. He will need it for the next fight.
And we will see 5 people going around the Baron. We do see all 5 members trying to do the Baron dance, is it right now? And they do show themselves. Will this be attempted to go in? No, the correct box is going. Pentakill takes initiative. Goes right in. There is amazing heal for Devlanu right now, and not so much for Varus, and that's completely enabling Euro Devils to all in him and do really well. And Pantheon goes right into this utter suicide. No, not really. They just fell down so quick right now, and they were spread too thin. The peeling for Devil's Playground was so huge in that fight that it just enabled Devlanu to just lay down the hammer on Xosum Gaming right now. What do you think of that fight, Frost?
Tryndamere again messing up. You do not go from the front as Tryndamere. You pick out your spots and you go from the back or something. He went from the front, he got slowed by the Thresh box, then afterwards he did try to kill the Lucian off, but then he got exhausted. That was finally one of the better results. And again, Pentakill is going in for no reason, he might end up dying.
Yeah, the peel for Lucian was good, and right now they're going for weak things, and oh my god, they actually do manage to end up killing Vicky Axel off of it. I thought they had enough time to back off, but apparently they were a step too slow.
Right here.
And yes, indeed, there is the possibility, but no, he's not going for it.
They should be going
Apparently
for
giving
Baron
up
right
chase,
now.
it would seem.
They should have gone there. That's a nice call. They should go for Baron. They have no one there. That's
Yes,
nice.
indeed. And oh my god, we've seen this so countless times, both in solo queue and in team games, so many times. Whenever you win a Baron fight and you opt to push out a turret, if you end up being low and the enemy team chases you, they are going to get a free Baron for themselves. And this Baron is actually huge, considering both teams have not been able to get dragons as well. Because on one end, okay. Actually, they do. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I misspoke. They got 2 dragons as opposed to Devil's Playground's 1. So 2 dragons and a Baron buff on them. This will enable them to push out lanes much easier, and it will end up Tryndamere can get more pressure than usual with the Baron buff. So now he will absolutely. I guess there is no better time than right now for Tryndamere to kind of do a split pushing.
I
What
just
did you
hope
say?
he goes to split push and it doesn't go and start grouping for team fights.
Yeah, he stopped sticking with his team right now because his very
He could have
nature is to just
really
attract
ended the
attention.
game alone, to be honest. Vladimir
Yeah,
is more of a team
yeah.
fight champ.
Absolutely. Given how both teams are, given
But
how
they just
the
keep looking
rest
for
of them
team
are,
fights
yeah.
for no reason. They should be using the Baron to push, and the new Baron is only there for sieging. It's not like the old Baron where you used to get tons of stats for your own team fighting potential.
Yes.
Again, they are chasing the Pantheon for no reason. The Tryndamere is just whiffing this whole thing right now. He should just be pushing.
Yeah,
Dragon
he
is
could
up
have,
though.
if he had stayed top right now, he could have pretty much pushed it to the inhibitor, and he could have preyed on the Devil's Playground's determination to take dragon, but it doesn't matter. He
There's gotta
actually
be a
sticks,
fight
and
right
they
now.
don't even contest for
They
it.
should fight.
So it makes them worth it anyway. And a cat goes on right onto Leona. Will they be able to kill her first? No, not quite. And oh my god, Puddly Bumpy doing really well to dodge Euro Devils' aggression back there, and Euro Devils will go down, but doesn't work out. Does not quite work out. Does not quite work out for Devil's Playground, even with Euro Devils managing to go aggressive. It probably has to do with the fact that he invested too much on the RE, but he just could not back up his own team with enough damage because his aggression had failed on the
almost
RE.
cost his own team the fight. He ulted the
Yes.
Lucian out of the Leona's ult.
Indeed, that as well. Pentakilla's mistake back there as well was kind of dreadful, but you can't help it. Like, we give it in a scenario where you have one ultimate that can push people away and another ultimate that is better off on clumped enemies. It's kind of weird. It's like it's the same problem as having an Orianna and a Janna in a team. One pulls them in and the other pushes them back. So it takes quite a bit of coordination and sense to kind of pull that off in the first place. But
Another big thing is that there are no sweepers. There's only one sweeper on the blue side, which can end up costing them. They should have they should all have sold their rotting totems by now. And
and oh my god, huge bit of aggression going to the old levels. His ultimate will bail him out, or will it? No, they actually go in a little too far, and a good charm onto a Q coming on, and a late PFG does not really impact him anything yet, at least. And oh my god, that'll actually be enough to kill BK Axel, and really good fighting by Xosum Gaming right now. This whole match has just been about outnumbering the enemy.
Sort of backup whatsoever. That was a strange.
Indeed.
Really strange decisions coming out of it. And now
the game up till now has just been a numbers advantage, a tussle for numbers advantage, literally. And right now, it's just Deblano and Romero will absolutely not be able to go forward. And if they had the backup, it should have been even more absolute. But oh my god, they actually go for the fight, and Lucian is gonna get creamed. As will their Vladimir.
Close to your turret when the Leona is involved. that is
2-0 happening right there because Romero and Deblano decided to fight them, thinking that they could at least defend the turret at the cost of their lives. But no, it does not work for them, and it ends up making things worse. So Devil's Playground has just had from a decent start, from bad to completely dreadful right now in terms of situation.
Now the game is slipping away from their hands. The Tryndamere is going to be hitting a huge power spike, and by now the Varus also has a lot of items. So
and if we look at the gold counts right now, 12.3k and 12.1k for the Tryndamere and the Varus on the side of Xosum Gaming, while only YOLO Devils having remotely close to enough gold to kind of buy items and hit his own bit of damage. But on the other side, if you see the levels of Tryndamere, he is level 16 as opposed to YOLO Devils is level 15. So you could probably say that he hasn't been near experience, but that could also. But part of that also
the only thing I don't understand is why he keeps grouping his team for no reason. He should just be
yeah.
Could have
Indeed.
been level 18 by now, and he could have ended the game from one of the lanes probably.
Probably have to do the same thing I said earlier. This whole fight has been a tussle for numbers advantage, and I don't know why Lucian just pieced out right there. They had one chance to just go right onto Tryndamere and completely don't go for it. I don't even know why Lucian was so desperate on getting the red buff there. But oh well, it looks like he just couldn't see far enough, I guess. But
finally, they're trying to split push the side lane, although it's the Zin doing it for some reason.
Indeed. So Tryndamere is trying to go for it. Just trying to stay. They are. Wow, look at them. They're just trying to. Look at them. Their very movements should tell you how much they want to. And a charm lands on to Vladimir. That will spell instant death for him. Oh my god. That is the power of an RE team. Is that the power of an RE team or what?
Yep. And this might even result in another inhibitor because minions are pushing to the Nexus turret right now.
Yes, indeed. So and this is the turret into the inhibitor, and I'm pretty sure that Tryndamere can just steamroll right through the entire enemy team and just go for the Nexus turrets right now because he still has his ult up. And why are you backing? Why are you backing Xosum? You can fight this. But anyway, I suppose nothing really changes, and they are just going for the next Baron. The next Baron is in 35 seconds, and the next Dragon is in 1 minute. In a perfect scenario, you'd see one team going for Baron, the other team going for Dragon, and immediately backing off. The losing team backing off just in time to defend their base, but it doesn't look like that will be happening. They're all just staying here. And they are clearing out things. And will they contest this Baron? Would it be wise for Devil's Playground to contest this
No,
Baron
it
for
would
us?
not, because if they go to contest it and they die there, or even if it, even if they win and it gets delayed by a huge margin, the minions will just end up pushing and taking the Nexus turret, which is not a worthwhile option considering that they have a Tryndamere in their team who can just back
Wow,
away
they
fast,
actually
so yeah.
recognize this, and good baiting coming on from Hashit, and they could actually
Romero's
snowball
dead.
this. That is it. This is it. Romero falling for the perfect bait setup by the Tryndamere, and that's a kill on Romero. What else do we see? We see Pantheon jumping 2 feet right in front of him. No idea why. Doesn't really make sense to do that. And Yola Devils immediately goes right in, deletes Kodali Vampy.
Wow.
So that kind of works differently, and back and forth. It's hard to tell who will really win this fight because Leona's caught alone, and Yola Devils will go in, and a final rake will kind of secure the kill. Will it? No, he doesn't even have to rake, and Pentakiller 62 just dies. Haphazard fighting from both teams right now.
Again,
It
the
started
main
out with a
problem
perfect
with
bait,
that
but
fight, the Vladimir ended up attracting the Zenith Blade along with the charm on himself, which completely whiffed, and they had no way to escape it after that. The Vladimir did end up getting off an ult. That did not work out well for them.
absolutely, and the enhanced damage from allies through the Vladimir ultimate really showed there, because while the Vladimir did die, the fact that he just managed to ult made his proc count. And I think it even netted him kills in that fight.
I don't think it's that big of a loss, to be honest. They
Yeah,
will end
yeah,
up with
indeed.
their fourth
Although
dragon,
it was all part of the plan, it was up to their plan when the Vladimir died, but they couldn't carry forward from then on, and they just started fighting awkwardly on the side of Xosum Gaming.
we might
so,
see a dragon for a Baron trade-off. I don't know what's happening.
yep, this
I
is what
don't
I'm
know why
talking
the
about.
blue
It's
side
perfect scenario.
completely goes towards the other side of the map for no reason.
Actually, the Baron would be more important than the Dragon in this regard, but it depends really. How many stacks is this team in? And okay, 4 stacks, so 15% more damage to monsters and towers. And will we see? No, not quite. Not really attempting anything right now.
They should push. They should just keep pushing for no reason. They keep
And
trying
I
to
guess
group.
I guess they're just too worried about their top lane right now, and they don't believe that Pantheon alone can clear it. I don't know. Not quite sure why. And Romero is trying to go behind them, and seriously, like Xosum are doing the only thing they can do, which is pretty much push inhibitors because they did get the Baron, and they could probably go bot lane off of this. And oh my god, that is some huge damage onto Hashid 1, and Leona making a reckless engage. Will this be it? And oh my god, this is it. YOLO Devils goes right in, tries to do enough damage onto the Leona, does end up killing her as well as the Tryndamere, and that is a 3-for-0 trade.
Yeah, and that
on the
I would
side of
contribute
Devil's
primarily
Playground.
because the Zinzao decided to focus the inhibitor instead of champion. So,
Indeed,
yeah.
they could have just at least embarrassed to do this thing. At least a simple chain of corruption would have done, but
They are
I'm not
going
quite
to
sure.
use
I don't know why the
inhibitor of
Leona
this.
had to go in, because it was obvious that the Tryndamere had to back off. He could have recognized that earlier and sooner,
Ari with a charm.
but yeah.
This will be an inhibitor.
So that's going in. This will be an inhibitor and nothing else for now. They could just back off because once the Leona and the Tryndamere come back,
Quite a
this will be
close
it.
game.
Right now, they're actually pinging for the bottom turret. Will they? No, they're not really going for it. They decided against it.
The Tryndamere
The
is
dragon
completely throwing
count
this
for
game.
both teams has been 4 dragons on the side of Xosum as opposed to just 1 on the side of Devil's Playground. So 2. I'm sorry. Did I miscalculate? No, it's still just 1. Okay. So it's 4 dragons on the side of Xosum as opposed to just 1 on Devil's Playground. So things slowly spiraling out of control for Devil's Playground, but they've been doing well to kind of outnumber them and end
The
up
problem
winning them.
is, I don't know, the Tryndamere is completely whiffing this game, to be honest. And now they're ignoring, they have their red buff up, they have their blue buff up, they're all ignoring, they're just trying to end the game for some reason.
Yes, indeed. They're just single-mindedly trying to focus and get the towers. They're just trying to go for the perfect sequential kind of breakdown of Devil's Playground's base.
For some reason, the Tryndamere is still not splitting. I don't know what is the idea going on over there.
Yeah, he's not able to see the opportunities where split pushing will actually grant them the best of outcomes.
And the Vladimir is
But,
no longer
yeah.
weak. He's 7, 10 and 14. Regardless
Yes.
of the number of deaths, he has an insane amount of items. So he is going to hurt.
And he is
a
dealing
lot.
significant damage. His ult is really making a difference for Devil's Playground in team fights because he's actually landing it on multiple people and it's not just some sort of assassination technique or some prop to kill
And
people
again,
later.
Tryndamere completely wasting his time. He could have taken a top inhibitor by now, but no. Wasting time, standing with his team by the side.
Not
No
quite sure
rage,
what they're
nothing.
looking for. They're still looking for 5-on-5 fights, and it is a barrened up team on this side. Or did it expire? I think no. Okay, yeah, it did expire. So they're free from the barrened up minions that would eventually end up pushing other lanes. However, they still have a fight on their hands, and they're not quite sure how to go about this anymore because of how things have gone. I think it's hard to kind of keep mentally stay calm and believe that you'd win because of how back and forth the fights have been. And this is evident from the scores, 37 and 32.
Again, the Tryndamere had a free red buff. He decided to ignore that. Some strange decisions. I don't know. This, if they drag this out too long, even the Vladimir is going to scale very hard.
Indeed. So, not quite sure the team. They did back off right now. And Tryndamere, why are you going back on top lane? You know what the entire enemy team is. You can just continue split pushing top, Tryndamere. But no, he's actually going mid amidst that much vision on this side. Okay. Not quite sure what they're going for. Really not quite sure what they're going for. But he took Scuttle Crab. And I don't quite see why he needs to take Scuttle Crab at this time.
A minute and 25 to this next dragon, which is going to be a huge point of contention because we all know the true damage coming out from the 5th dragon.
It's extremely hard to tell what these two teams are going to go anymore. This is a point. Not only is this a pointless stall because of how fed the Tryndamere is. It is just the inability to close out games that's kind of causing Xosum to just go because they have better late game in this regard. Wouldn't you say that Xosum has the better late game? Even though that there is a Lucian and a Talon on the side of Devil's Playground, the Pantheon alone would kind of account
I
for
don't
the
see the
things.
blue side winning team fights unless they whiff up really bad because
Yeah,
they have
indeed.
in terms of, and now
So they've actually had a proper and formidable team comp, but oh my god, this is
the
some
perfect place for a Leona ult.
indeed, but they just can't go for it. Like this Leona is just they're unsure of whether they can actually follow up on other people's ults in terms of aggression and all that. And
Ari needs
Tiki
to
Axel.
people off. She's playing too far back to be honest. And Leona
And
does
they
get
do
hooked here.
see a single hook, but they're not going to go for it.
Look at
They're
the damage.
completely
Look at the
respecting it.
Vladimir
That is some good damage on Leona indeed. I was just about to point that out. Vladimir is doing formidably amazing damage.
756 AP. He is no longer the guy who was getting wrecked in lane.
Blue team's
And
Yep.
it is the 5th dragon is up. And let's see what happens. If they get it, it's going
If
to
they
be
manage
a
to get
really,
it, they'll
really
probably finally have some incentive to close the
Back
game
in
out and Tryndamere will probably split push. But no, he's actually going bot lane. He's just trying to rack up CS because I don't understand. But the top lane is under attack. I'm not quite sure why Lucian is going to just clear has gone to clear out the minions and the
Oh my god,
inhibitor.
Tryndamere DC. Tryndamere DC.
And please pause. Please pause. Xosum, he's your only hope. Please pause. Thank you. Thank you. Well, on that note, if you've all been reading chat, on that note, if he keeps saying Tryndamere is lacking, then it's better he doesn't fight and just split pushes anyway, which would also end up being the most optimal solution. But yeah, anyway. So right now, it seems like Xosum is kind of giving Devil's Playground chances to catch up and fight with pretty much 6 items eventually, given how much they're stalling. We hopefully it doesn't come to that part. We wouldn't want them to come to that for it to come to that part.
Vladimir has 5
But oh
items
well.
by now. I don't know. I don't see the point of stalling this much. Nobody can kill the Vladimir by now unless he gets charmed
Yes,
first.
indeed, but
And they turn on the Thresh again. That's bad for
right now, Thresh, the box comes in, slows 2 people. Pentakiller is caught to just go and goes right onto Diplano, but oh my god, he's being
Again,
so
look
caught
at
up.
the
He actually gets
victory
out,
point.
and
So
Tryndamere kind of locked down far too much, and he has to ult so early. The crit not enough to finish off the Lucian, and oh my god, what a beautiful triple into a double kill from this thing. Can they push and win off of this? Will this be a crazy comeback? Will this be them finally seeing how bad their early game went?
I think this is game. I think
this is repentance. It is because just one single minion, all 5 people up. This will be with Talons is this thing, yeah. The Noxian diplomacy will play a huge part in kind of finishing the games out for them. And well, hella crazy fighting, you know what you say? And this will be 1 turret, this will be 2nd turret. Yes, this absolutely will be 20 seconds left in the spawn timers of Xosum Gaming, and there is no turning back. And this will be the win for Devil's Playground. Wow. That happens. That happened, Frost. That happened.
To be honest, yes, that did happen, and that was primarily the blue side throwing the game more so than the other side making the comeback. To be honest,
it made no sense why Trinidad wouldn't just go to that separately. I guess it's not even. It has less thing to do with fear, because you want such things like that to happen. You want them to come to you. You want to sacrifice and give up your life to kind of go after them and